this reading is going to be on none other than the mother of the Renaissance down, who is none other than Beyonce. You know, it's been a while since I have done a reading on her, and since I have just tapped into her energy and see how is she feeling, what is she up to, how is she doing mentally and everything. And now that the tour has ended over a month and some, it's time to finally just tap into her energy after a little while on to just see what is she up to, or like whatever is surrounding her and what is she doing. So let's just get right into that one. The first thing I'm gonna do is just tap into the genre energies around her. Okay, let's see. Beyonce knows. Beyonce knows. Beyonce knows Carter. Beyonce Giselle knows Carter. So the first thing is, I thought it was a good one. I thought that we were going somewhere good first. Okay. Yeah, she's definitely focusing on, like herself, on the connections that are surrounding her and that are beneficial for her. She's focusing on her work, but her mental health is not it. Her mental health is surrounded with, I'd say, lots of insomnia, or just, feeling like you always have to just have a one up on everybody else just because you are the best at what you do, but at the same time, just because she's going through something or feeling like something isn't good, that's why she's going to have to like perfect it and just go over it and over it so many more times to just feel relaxed about it, you know. So she's definitely focusing. Let's see, because I am definitely getting a sense of her just focusing on her relationship too, you know, focusing also on her family, on her motherhood, just spending quality time with her children, and just um, kind of like what's the expression in English? Just kind of like finally just rekindling that bond and just not wasting any much more time and just fulfilling that type of fantasy that she's had with just being a stay-in mom right now and just having fun with her kids and just trying to work from home but at the same time still give her work um what he deserves, but at the same time also just being um constant with everything else that is around her. Like she's financially stable and all that, and just enjoying everything that she's getting and all that. But when it comes to what is she dealing with, yep, see, I was gonna go there. She's very much contemplating about a lot of shit that has broken her heart and has made her feel sad. She is very much into deep contemplation about some shit that has to do with her marriage or that has to do with her home, which is basically her marriage, because she feels left out in the cold. There are lots of burdens in there. Um, over the reverse. Feeling left out in the cold, just not feeling in your elements, feeling just emotionally shut down or shut out and just being all up in your head and losing hope and just feeling helpless and hopeless in your own marriage. Like, I'm preaching about everything, but it's not what it looks like and it's not what it seems like. There's definitely here something that she has learned um that is shocking as fuck to her, and that definitely did blow her mind the fuck over, because it was something here that has to do with allegedly cheating or something from the past that does still haunt them still. So I'd say that even if they went to therapy and all that shit, it's not helping and it's not helpful if it's like still done, and if the cycles just repeat themselves. Like no matter how openly they're discussing all that stuff and all that shit, she's still going to just feel so lost and just feel so hurt and broken, because those cycles are always the same. Those cycles are always repeating themselves, and they're all just like, there is also something here about a trauma bond that they share together, and there's also something here about no matter what it is, they're always going to be I'm sorry, they're always going to be tied down together they're always going to be tied down together, and they're always going to, like come back. That's literally what she said in 6 inch in Lemonade. They always come back to me because that's what it is. They're always going to come back to one another, and they're always chained to one another. Like rather be as all those materialistic stuff that is chaining them together, or just all of that shit that they have together. Even if like, oh, they have kids, their parents, all that shit. No, there is so much more deep shit that they are sharing together. Um, that literally have a lot to do in all this. I wanted this one to just be something about her, something cute, something small, and all that, but looks like it's just going to be Beyonce and Jay Z. So let me just erase it here instead. And okay, because it's just going to be a journal one on their marriage at this point. Like no matter how hard she's gonna try to make this work, or like how hard they'll try to do so, um they'll just snap back into his old he'll just snap back into his old habits, and he'll always just be failing at keeping that peace, or like keeping that balance, or just keeping all this shit intact, because he always have a way to just break all that shit and just fuck shit over. Basically, because he's always going to just do whatever he pleases, instead of just whatever is beneficial for their relationship, because he'll just do whatever is beneficial for him, even if it means just a temporary type of pleasure instead of something that's permanent, because he knows that he's going to woo his way right the fuck back in, and she's going to take him back because she's naive enough, and she knows what else is there to be missed out on, and lost, not just like feelings and emotions and love and whatever, but a lot more that has to do with their careers, or just like creativity and opportunities and money, and they just won't let go of one another so fast, or like so soon. Okay, because it's something that they have worked for so hard that they just won't sadly let go of. That's crazy. Let's see. Now we're gonna tap into their marriage, because yeah. Okay, let's see. The Carters, Beyonce and Jay-Z, or Beyonce and Sean Carter. See, that's the wife. Okay, she's always hopeful. She's always, wanting things to work out. Well, I'm gonna just say their government name better. Beyonce and Sean Carter, and they're married. Okay, let's take the first three cards that popped up. There is the court. There is wanting to keep order. I wouldn't be surprised if she's really thinking of just wanting to let go and shit. But at the same time, she knows that it's like a team effort, and like, oh, we're a team, we're partners. Even if like, I don't want to say it's definitely something that has to do, like, I don't want to label their marriage as a marriage on paper only, because as much as I don't like saying this, Lord knows I don't, but it's much more than that, because obviously if it wasn't good at times, they wouldn't have had children, or just at least been happy for a while of time, or like a short amount of time, at least. But there's definitely lots of burdens here, lots of feelings like this shit is unfair, and just lots of inequality, like how can I just want this to work more than you do. Yeah, there is yep, there goes the cheating non-committal card, and her just being so hurt and bitter, and well, there are relationships that turn you sour. There are relationships that strengthen you and all that shit. And this one definitely pulls at her heart and mind strings like a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. See, like a lot. Heartbreak, a lot of pain, a lot of deep rooted sadness, insecurities, feeling like I can't just fully let go, or like I can't fully release. Oh my god, I messed the whole deck up. fuck. I can't just fully let go, or like I can't fully release all of this because once it's gone, it's gonna take an ugly turn, and everything isn't going to be like the same, or like nothing is going to be there anymore. See, his energy is much more of like one that is lacking that type of self control when it comes to his relationship, and not what's the word? Not honoring it that way, and just doing whatever the fuck he pleases because he's the one who's having control. Like, no matter how hard she tries to show people, or like show the public and show everybody else that she's the one who controls shit and she's the one who runs shit, she's not, because they know the truth and they know what it is. Even though she has a sharp tongue, like, I'm not gonna lie, she definitely knows how to pick a fight and how to pick bones with him, but he's the one who has the upper hand, and he's the one who's having much more control than she is. Okay, let's see. Let's get more points on him now. Yeah, he's a very prideful person, and the thing with him that I noticed a lot throughout the readings and just throughout watching some of his interviews and the way he be handling himself, or like when she's on stage and when he's around and whatnot, is whenever he'd feel threatened, or like whenever his pride would be feeling wounded, and whenever he'd feel that he's not the one getting the attention, and just feeling like he's not the one who is thriving and doing all this, he would go out of his way to make sure, he would go out of his way to execute that type of power on other people, so they would, give him that type of attention he's seeking. And he would go out of his way to go over to somebody else just so she can make him feel at least good, or like make him feel like he's respected, and just, basically bow down to the man, because everybody, is much more like stark, like awed by Beyonce than him. And that's the honest truth. Like, people just, when she said partner, let me upgrade you, she meant that shit. Like, she did mean that. Yeah, see? There he goes, just something with, with his, okay, whatever. Just something with his dick and trying to flaunt his power. Or like, just win people. Just, yeah, I have this and I have that. And I got all that, I got you and all that shit. Because he feels like that stardom effect is kind of like, slipping out of his hands, or just like running away, because it's not the same. Like, not everybody is just handling them the same way, or like caring. See, there it goes. Just like treating them the same way, or like feeling the same about them, because people just kind of like, of course, like, people, they respect him as a businessman and all that stuff, like as a businessman, or like as a leader, and like how he makes his decisions and how people look up to him when it comes to all that. But when it comes to all that shit, people are still holding him accountable for everything that he does, or like that he has done towards Beyonce as a lover, as her partner, as somebody who's supposed to be spending the rest of his life with her, or like cherishing her and loving her and whatnot. Even though he would be like, oh, the public and people should be moving on from all that, but they're not moving on, even though he's trying to portray that everybody has moved on from all this, but it just created a lot more confusion and mess because it hit the public, and ever since it hit the public, nothing has been the same. He's like, people are already like blaming me for all that stuff and still speculating all that shit about me, so might as well just keep doing so, because we know that she won't come out and say certain shit about all that, nor can she leave and all that shit. So might as well just do so until um you know it's done with, or like until people are just realizing whatever it is. But even then, he's going to be manipulating the truth, and he's going to just still shower her with love and show people that, oh, they're happy together, they're made for one another, they're fitting together and all that shit. But no one. He's so toxic. There is so much more manipulation in here, and there's so much more than just them being bound together by like so many more toxic tendencies and behaviors that have done nothing but damage her self-worth, and just damage the rest of whatever good was left between them. Mm-hmm. That's one thing for sure, because like, if the truth ever comes out, he's not going to, have it in a pretty way, or that you are not going to be as forgiving to him again anymore because like you had your chance and you're kind of like blowing it or just like fuck this over in a way. So that's how he feels right now. Like, that's how his energy is when it comes to, I'd say, their marriage or where they are right now in it. But let's see about how does she feel about it for now, or like her current energy when it comes to it. Because right now, even though she tries to, like focus on herself, focus on her marriage, regardless of whatever the fuck that they're experiencing and all that, it still does sting her and it still does hurt her and pull at her heartstrings. So let's see, Beyonce in her marriage. Yeah, it definitely does anger her a lot. It angers her and it makes her feel like she's being played with or like she's being toyed with because she's being like disrespected and her heart is broken because of the infidelity and because of the communication issues, the non-committal issues as well, um, and because of feeling like she's always being left out in the dark or like, oh, you're just going to get caught or like he's going to do something and he's going to do something stupid and like fuck everything up. But also she feels like there is a lot more going on for her mentally that she is just praying for a breakthrough or like for some clarity when it comes to those situations because like I've worked hard to get here and I've worked hard to just heal and maintain balance and control and all that in my life and for my emotions and on everything that has to do with my marriage or with my personal life and all that, and I've had everything that I manifested and I'm trying to still grow from there and go from there, but he's not meeting her like in the same page because see, even though this card is showing how um he's always like challenging her or like makes her feel like she's in competition with other people or makes her feel like she always is like in a standoffish position or feeling like everything is just not as it looks like even if she's saying that like basically the house that they're in is basically what's the word, um it's not like you can't easily like pierce through it, but at the same time like it's easily broken. Just he's the one who's doing all this and just you know making it feel just so restless and feeling so disappointed and feeling like no matter what it is it's always going to be a disappointment and it just brings so much more tension and imbalance into the equation. Like as much as it pains me to say that she definitely does still, like love him and everything because he has been her rock for so long, the only man that she knows, in many aspects. But at the same time, it's like she needs to move on and find new beginnings for herself. But there is so much more in here. I do want to point out that there is magic involved in here. There's also manifestations in here and just wanting things, to take control onto a better direction and like to a better place and everything. But there's just a lot of rebellious energy, just refusing to just give you what you want and getting what you want because of the pettiness or because of the feelings that everything is just kind of like being broken or just feelings are not being felt in the right order or like in the right way and things are being repressed or just being numb to all this. Like no matter what it is, even though if you're pouring your heart out in there is just this disharmony, this balance. Even if there is love, but also it's not enough to make it work. And that's what makes her sad and what makes her angry. It makes her angry, it makes her wanting to lash out at people just like lashing out at him. But even though, she would try to and everything, it just goes through like deaf ears. And oh my god, there's so many cards that felt that I didn't even took notice of. Oh wow, wait. There's just something here, but we worked so hard on this and everything. And it's a family, it's a legacy, it's so much more. It's not just, a legacy, but it's also a brand. It's also there is a lot here going on about yeah, again, just being a witch, being this and this and that, doing magic, doing all this, trying to just maintain all that type of power and all that stuff, or like all that type of love and containing all that shit by just doing stuff that isn't too healthy or that isn't too proper. But all this fear in love and war is basically her like their motto in this relationship. But there is also a lot about here feeling, like betrayal, just pain, deep sorrows, and just feel like it's a broken family. I keep hearing emotions by Destiny's Child. So, yeah, it's just the usual for Beyonce and, Miss BB and her marriage. I would definitely say I hope that she would heal herself enough to just know what is best for her, even though she does know what's best for her. She's always going to be sticking around because she's the definition of just, that's my man. I'm going to stick beside him. But I mean, they do know best, even though they do not apply it. But yeah, that is their reading. It's funny because he's always like popping up in this, and her marriage is always the one place where everything is not working out the way she wants it to work out, and that is her challenge in life. But yeah, I would do another one where I would just be talking about this era or like the visuals and whatever she has next and all that stuff, and even like the next one after the Renaissance era. So yeah, let's be on the lookout for that one. But for now, this is the Beyonce reading.